This takes Tinder dating to a whole new level. Here's a photo of the conversation with this girl that I am trying to date. She said,
"Can you fix my car?"
"LOL, what is wrong with it?" Then she sends me a photo of the front of her car. It's missing a bumper, the whole right front is exposed, and severe hood damage on the right side of the car. She even used duct tape to hold some of the bumper together. After she sent the photo, she said,
"So, how is it looking?"
I responded with several laughing crying emojis and said it's definitely not what I was expecting, to be honest.
"So, can you fix it though?"
Haha, no, I'm a mechanic and not a body shop tech.
"It's just a small damage though. Please, I need it fixed, and afterwards you can take me out on a date."
I am not sure what to do. She looks really hot in her profile picture. Should I try to fix it? What if the only reason she swiped right on me is because I listed on my profile that I am a car mechanic? What if it's actually a man pretending to be a hot girl, who is using his sister photo to get me to fix his car? A Karen is yelling at me to sell my Nintendo Switch for her son. So my mom and grandmother had to go into Walmart to grab a few things. We had already had a long day and I didn't feel like going in, so I decided to stay in the car and play my Nintendo Switch. Shortly after they went in, I felt like someone was watching me and I turned to see a woman standing at the window. She scared the mess out of me because I'm blind in that eye and I didn't know she was there. I said, Can I help you?"
"Is that a Nintendo Switch?"
"Yes.
"How long have you had that one?"
My ex-fiancé gave it to me right after they were released as a gift."
"You know, my son is wanting a Switch for Christmas, and I haven't been able to find one anywhere."
I already see where this is going, and locking the door while speaking, I said, "Well, that sucks. I think Amazon still has them available though if you can't find them in a store."
"How old are you?"
Kind of an odd question, but I'm 24.
"Well, you're too old for video games anyway, and my son needs a Switch. I'll pay you $100 for that one."
I'm sorry, ma'am, but not only am I not willing to sell it because I play it too often and I collect game consoles, but a Nintendo Switch is about $300. Not including the game I'm playing, which is at least another $60. I would not sell it for only $100.
"You're too old to play those games. My son needs a Switch and I can't find any."
Ma'am, there is not an age cap on enjoying video games. Also, video games is a want and a privilege, not a necessity. You're making me very uncomfortable, so can you please leave me alone?
"Fine, I'll just tell security that you stole it from me."
Okay, and there is a security camera right behind you showing you never had it, plus I can give full information that can prove it's mine.
"You're just a selfish brat." "I'm getting security, and I'm getting my Switch."
Cool, I'll be here when they come out. I sat there for over an hour until my mom and grandmother came out, and neither she nor security came out.
For our next story, entitled "Wicked Stepmother is Trying to Take Our Home from Us." Okay, I have a doozy. My husband's mom abandoned him and his brother when they were toddlers. So his dad gets remarried and already has two as well. My husband is a very sweet, gentle man, and the stories I've heard about the way she treated her bio kids over him and his brother would make your head spin. Fast forward to him coming home from college, and his parents had just bought a rental house. They agreed to just put it in his name, and for the last 17 years, he's been making the payments. I met him a couple years after he moved into the house, and we've raised a family here. Mind you, Hubs works for his dad's construction company almost 2 decades, and is the hardest working man I've ever met. People ask for him specifically to do the work on their house through word of mouth, and being that his work speaks for itself. Stepmom has never had to work or do anything and has been given anything she could want. These men are the kind that are in it for life and the best providers and family men you could ask for. Out of nowhere, she decides that she is leaving him, and so that dad doesn't have to sell his home, we agree to sell ours. We have about $300,000 equity. Keep in mind, the last year we used our savings to fix the house up to the nines. Back in 2014, they asked my hubs to quitclaim the house to them so they could refi. The loan is in their name with my hubby in the deed, and not because they were trying to be nice, but not have to pay investment taxes on this house. Hubby has written the mortgage interest off for the last 13 plus years. Fair, considering he gives his dad the mortgage every month and it gets paid out of their bank account. Everyone was under the agreement that after paying the loan off, he gets $100,000 to pay her off and the rest is for us to start our own lives, to buy a home in our names. Just the other day, she calls him and says we are basically just renters and won't be getting a dime. The last convo I had with her was her telling me how much she loved me and my hubs, and how he was the perfect child to raise and professing her love for my son, her grandson. She literally quit being a grandma and is totally okay with putting us on the street. I'm thinking that I just may have to consult with a tax advocate about amending the last decade of my hub's tax returns, since renters don't write off mortgage interest or spend their savings to fix up a house they don't own. We're devastated because this was our money to buy a new home and just live. I know I left out important details I'd be more than happy to fill y'all in on, but I'm just so hurt for my son and my hubby. His words exactly, "Damn, I'm 0 for 2 in the mom department. I'll spend the rest of my life being the best mom to his children that I possibly can. Fuck, this sucks." For our next story, an entitled mother yells at me that I am too old to see Santa Claus. I am 20 and Jewish. I work in a toy store at my local mall. So the get your photo with Santa thing is right in front of the toy store at the mall I work at, which makes sense. Kids can look around while their parents wait in line, parents can look for present ideas while their kids wait in line, they can all come in together after getting their photos taken, etc. This happened today at around 11 a.m. I'd been working at the toy store, and my boss lets me know I can go on my break, so I do. I had about 30 minutes to kill and I wasn't particularly hungry, but when I walked by the Santa exhibit, I saw that there was almost no lineup because it was a weekday in the middle of the day, most kids are at school and most parents are working. So, since I'm an adult and don't celebrate Christmas, I thought a picture of me on Santa's lap would be a funny gift to give my family on Hanukkah when I'm home. So I get in line. There's one family who currently has their kid seeing Santa, one kid in front of me, and not long after our entitled mother, entitled father, and their kids. They were all very lovely at first. We made a bit of small talk while we waited. I asked their kids how excited they were to see Santa, etc. The family in front of me goes, and in hindsight I think the gears were starting to turn in the mother's head that I wasn't just an older sibling and was actually there for myself. The family in front of me leaves, and then I took my photo with Santa. I go back to work and clock back in, because even without the lineup, just waiting for two families and getting the pictures printed and paid for took most of my lunch break, and a few minutes later the family from before comes in. The kids go off to look at toys. I give them a friendly little hi again. And I'm met with a very cold-hearted hello from the mother. Our store wasn't very busy either given the day of the week and time of day, so while they browsed I was showing my coworkers and boss the pictures that I got for shits and giggles, and the mom stomps over like I just shit in her figgy pudding. The entitled mother said,
"I'm sorry, I just think it's very rude and immature to keep my kids waiting longer just for a joke."
There was no wait, at least not to see Santa.
"You're too old to believe in this crap."
Keep in mind, her kids were the only kids in the store, and she was yelling. I said I've never believed in it, I don't celebrate Christmas.
"Well, that's a whole other reason why you shouldn't have been there. You're ruining it for everyone else."
Well, it doesn't really matter. Santa says I'm on the nice list, and his word is law. I was very obviously screwing with them the whole time. It's a weird coping mechanism where I try to escape conflict by being funny.
Well, God says, you're gonna burn in hell.
Alright, I'm gonna need you to leave if you're gonna keep harassing my employee.
Say we don't have a hell. Others believe that it's more of a temporary thing where you spend time atoning and then get to go to heaven. I was just using the best comeback I could think of. Then my boss came over and said, Kids came back to find their parents. One asked if they could have one of the candy canes we have on our checkout counter. The mom said no. I said they were free and to go ahead. Both kids took a candy cane because free candy totally outweighs their mother's word, which is actually kind of a scary thought without context. The mom stared daggers at me, called me a name that rhymes with bike as they left, and I just smirked and gave a very happy Merry Christmas. My boss and coworkers are still laughing about it with me as I write this. We call them Kanye West parents for, well, obvious reasons, lol.